Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I will tell you that this is potentially going to be one of my shorter live streams, primarily because 6 feet away from where I am right now, there are some workmen that are working on a bathroom here in my house, and there is a very good chance that they are going to make an incredible amount of noise that will prevent me from being able to go very long on this live stream. They may, in fact, be listening to me just outside the door. The things that we do to improve our homes and to keep our wives happy. That is what this is an example of. Speaking of examples, DC is doing some fascinating stuff right now where on one hand, they give us some news that gets us very excited. And on the other side, they are doing some other things that may not leave us to be very excited. And it's like, well, which one do you want me to pay attention to? The shiny penny or this thing that is happening over here? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There is definitely some of that is going on. And we are going to dig into the details. And I'll be honest with you, to be completely honest, I am truly excited about the things that DC is actually doing. That is positive, right? There is definitely some cool stuff. I'm actually kind of excited about it, to be honest with you. We're going to talk about the other stuff because it is newsworthy and we've been talking about it for months now. And it's just a continuation of the saga. So it has to be addressed. But I'm actually really more excited to talk about the more positive things, as you guys would imagine, because that is the nature of this show. We bring you a little news, a little entertainment, but it's for the purpose of honestly having fun. Say hello to Matthew is in here. Young Matthew, it is good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. I think Tina was here for a moment. Super honorable nephew, how you doing, brother? Master Blaster is in here. Blue is in the house. He says, yo, how you doing, Blue? Gordon is in here. My man Thomas, it is good to see you. Sully Two Kings, always a pleasure. Randy Resnake is in here. And again, I'm not going to belabor I'm not going to stretch out the intros here just because I don't know how much time I have, to be completely honest with you. But I want to thank you guys for giving me a little bit of your time here on a Friday night. So, as you probably saw with the thumbnail that I put up, AT&T is making some additional changes. They are continuing to potentially lay people off, and what they're aiming for right now is basically cutting their costs by about 20%. So, and this is actually from the Wall Street Journal. So definitely comes from a reputable source. Warner Media plans thousands of job cuts in restructuring changes. At owner of HBO, Warner Brothers seeks to cut costs by up to 20% as the pandemic pressures film and TV businesses. That 20% is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I actually used to live not too far from where these studios are actually located. I used to live in Burbank, California, so not too far from some of this stuff. But I'll give you guys the high level. They are restructuring the workforce as they seek to cut costs by as much as 20%, basically as the pandemic has stretched on longer than anyone anticipated, right? I don't think anyone honestly thought that this was going to go on as long as it has. I think people were definitely trying to be optimistic, but here we are. The overall, which is expected to begin in the coming weeks, will result in thousands of layoffs across Warner Brothers studios and TV channels like HBO, TBS, TNT. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Like there's a good quote here. I don't know who this quote is from. Spokesperson. There we go. Like the rest of the entertainment industry, we have not been immune to the significant impact of the pandemic. Adding that the company would reorder its operations to focus on growth opportunities. We are in the midst of that process, and it will involve increased investments in priority areas and unfortunately reductions in others. So basically what this is saying is that Right now, we are suffering. We're going to trim back the fat in the areas where we are truly suffering and try to shift some funds to those areas that we believe may be profitable for us in the future. So they are basically saying we're going to take some money, we're going to make some investments in our sales or in other areas that we think can be profitable. And we are then going to kind of sort of not hope for the best, but plan for the other side of whatever this looks like. And so the article just goes on to some other things, talking about some other things that they were talking about. Warner Media employed nearly 30,000 people earlier this year. And it said its parent company employed 243,000. That is a lot of people, that being AT&T at the end of June, although the overall headcount has declined in recent years through layoffs and attrition. But again, that's a lot of people, man. Whether you're talking about Warner Media with 30,000 or AT&T, the parent company, with 243, that is a lot of people. That's a lot of people that are being fed and clothed and housed because of entertainment, and definitely an unfortunate day. An unfortunate announcement that is coming out today that will have ramifications for a very long time to come, because I'm guessing that a lot of these layoffs are not going to happen immediately. They're going to be probably done in waves and in phases. Definitely an unfortunate thing. So let me pop back to the chat here real quick. Thomas is like, did someone say DC? Rest assured, my friend, that headline was chosen for a reason, because I wanted to make sure the DC people recognize that we talk about DC here as well. But I'm also trying to balance it by not just talking about the negatives. We are also going to talk about some of the positive things that DC is doing as well. We are trying to balance this thing out. Considering the unemployment levels are more people losing their jobs is not good, man. Definitely not good. That's 45,000 jobs if they cut 25%. Man, it's going to, brother, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. I'm guessing that some of the costs will also come from, honestly, the costs are not just going to be employment costs, but I'm also thinking like, when you take salaries down, you take down all the various benefits. You may even be able to cut back on some office space as a result of certain reductions into being able to shift people around. So your leases and your rents or whatever it is, that also comes down. So there, maybe you don't have as much security, you don't have as much IT, you don't have as much as this. So, there are a lot of costs that come along with an employee. And then when you multiply by the number of people between the salaries and the benefits and all of the other stuff that comes with it, that's a significant amount of money. It really is a significant amount of money. So it's important to remember that I don't think that it's all coming from the labor force. I think that there's other savings that will be realized as a result of that. But definitely some bad stuff that is happening. But we are going to very quickly shift gears. Shout out to Pretty Fly for a Filipino guy, that fantastic soldier reporter out there. He hipped me to something. In all truthful and transparency, Key Collector app was the first to notify me of this earlier this morning when I was on a video conference and I was slyly looking at my phone off to the side. And then Pretty Fly sent it to me a little bit later. But there is some good news. There is some good news out there for DC people. And again, if you have not seen this, we are probably going to be breaking some news here. But again, Variety has actually released some information that there is a Green Lantern series that is moving forward. This thing has been green lighted. It has been given a go at HBO Max. So they are going to be pulling together a Green Lantern series, which I think is pretty cool. What is it? Far Sector? If you are not reading Far Sector, I encourage it, because I think Far Sector, in my opinion, is the best Green Lantern story I've read. I actually enjoy it. I can get into it. I think I'm on issue number 8. I am enjoying Far Sector. So check that out if you get a chance. But HBO Max has given the series order to Green Lantern. And basically what they're going to be doing, if memory serves, I read this thing, HBO Max has ordered 10 1-hour episodes, right? So that is a healthy amount of TV, more than The Boys right now, but 10 1-hour episodes that are going to be dropping. And I think that this thing was actually rumored to be moving forward last year, and now we are receiving additional confirmation that it will be moving forward. Plot details are now available for the first time. The show will depict the adventures of several Green Lanterns, including Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon, and Alan Scott. It goes on to say, and many more, right? The series will also include fan favorites such as Sinestro and Kilowog. I think that's how you say that, Kilowog. And will also introduce new heroes to the ranks of the Green Lantern Corps. So I thought that this was pretty good news that they're actually moving forward with this. And seems like it's hopefully going to work out pretty well. They go on to talk about some other series and things like that. They talk about the writer, the director, the showrunner, and what they are affiliated with. One of them is actually affiliated with a previous Green Lantern movie. But now here's what's interesting. If you paid attention to the names that I just ticked off, there are some Green Lanterns that are actually not listed. And that's what kind of caught my attention, that there are several important Green Lanterns. And I think someone just got it in the chat. They're like, at least one name. There are several. There is Hal Jordan is missing. I can't remember this guy's name. The middle guy right here. You guys may know better. What was it? Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner was not mentioned, and neither was John Stewart. So 3, I think, pretty popular Green Lantern characters that were not mentioned, and maybe they were rounded off in the and more. Maybe that's what it was. But it was interesting that they called out some cool Green Lanterns, like the old school original Green Lantern and some modern day, but they forgot, in my opinion, at least 2 really awesome. I don't know Kyle Rayner all that well, but John Stewart and Hal Jordan, man, come on. So that was a little bit of an interesting thing that they did not make mention of those individuals, but maybe they're saving that little tidbit for a little bit later to when the show may actually debut, which I think, is it in 2022? I want to say 10 episodes, 1 hour long, not really saying, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be in 2022. That is my guess, and there is no date. There's no date that's actually given here, but it's going to be interesting. Let me pop back to the chat real quick to see what you guys are talking about. Scrolling down through the comments here, Green Lantern movie. I think it's live action. I think it's live action. That is my hope, brother. Please don't. I don't mind cartoons, but I like people. I like to see people on the screen. It makes me feel a little bit more adult than a cartoon. It did not say. It honestly did not specify whether it was animation or live, but I'm guessing live. So let's just assume that until we hear otherwise. And yes, super honorable nephew, I had that same moment, but I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I like some Ryan Reynolds. That movie was not the greatest. It was not the worst, but I love some Ryan Reynolds. So I was on board with that. Maybe they break. There you go. See what I'm saying? Maybe they are in the middle of contract negotiations right now with Ryan Reynolds, trying to work it out to bring him back. It would be awesome if they did. So Matt Gray's like, thanks for the heads up. Scrolling down, there we go. We don't know. I mean, at this moment, man, they don't even mention whether Hal Jordan is even in it, right? Much less Ryan Reynolds. So we shall see. We shall see what actually happens with this. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Let me scroll up. What is this? Oh, hold on. Let's see what this. So I talked to Matt, aka Thanatos, about the show, and he's mad at who will be in the show and who won't. Well, the thing is, right now we don't truly know who's in it, right? Well, let me restate. We know who's in it, but the and more can mean a lot. Like, it could be some additional headliners that they haven't mentioned yet, right? So I don't want to assume that they have X'd out certain people, but it was interesting who they decided to include and what they decided to say about at least one of them, because it appears that diversity was part of it, which I'm like all for, but it's like, well, can we show some other diversity in this roster? So it was a little interesting to see what they kind of came out with. So scrolling through the comments here, Let me see. Voldemort. The Voldemort. Let me scroll through. How about a Deadpool Green Lantern team? Man, I mean, how would Ryan Reynolds play both of those characters at the same time? That would be fascinating. That would be fascinating to see him play both of them. What is this? Hal Jordan, John and Kyle will be safe in the movie. You could be right. You could be right about that. You could be right that maybe that's their play, is that they're going to use HBO Max for some of those smaller characters and then use the other. But at the same time, they're doing the Snyder cut, which is going to have some additional. I don't know. It could go either way. It really could. They could do what the MCU has signaled, is that they will have the streaming service, they will have the movies, and there will be characters that will occasionally cross over. And you would assume that the character and the actor would indeed cross over. So you never know. You never know. Scrolling through, seeing what else you guys are talking about. If it's animated, it'll be goodness. DC animation is fantastic. Live action, the cheese. Well done. Well, brother, maybe they get their stuff together. Maybe they get their stuff together and actually put out some good live action. All I need is Guy Gardner and Jessica Cruz. I hear you. I hear you, brother. Scrolling down through the comments here. All right. So just a quick little recap for some folks that are coming in a little bit late. At the top of the show, we covered off on the teaser that was on the thumbnail, that essentially what is happening right now is that AT&T, Warner Media have essentially announced that they are cutting their costs by about 20%. And what they pointed to was that they're going to be laying off employees across several different divisions. And they employ, Warner Media, a healthy number of people. I think the number was 30,000 people, and AT&T like 243,000 people. They employ a lot of folks, and they are looking to reduce their costs by about 20%, which is going to basically mean some layoffs and dismissal of people, which is going to be tough. But because of that very negative news, we wanted to balance it with a little bit more of some positive news. And we started on talking about the new Green Lantern series that will actually be coming out on HBO Max. We saw that in this news report, there's a couple of Green Lanterns that are being mentioned that will be part of the show, but there were a few that were actually interestingly not mentioned as in the show. And it's these folks right here, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, and John Stewart were not actually mentioned. And Thomas Mayo actually came up with the recommendation that potentially they are holding these three individuals back and will reserve them for the movie. So time will tell how this thing actually plays out, whether this universe that they're creating on the streaming service will include a lot of Green Lanterns or just the ones that were named. But it should be pretty cool because it seems like they're going to be following them along on their various adventures as the cosmic police force. And so it's going to be pretty cool. I want to like the Green Lanterns, right? I really do want to like the Green Lanterns. And it honestly wasn't until I read like Far Sector that I was like, oh, this is actually not bad. Now, I will say that I've read some Golden Age, Silver Age Green Lantern, and I enjoyed that. But modern stuff, the Far Sector, for whatever reason, kind of it spoke to me. And so I'm enjoying some of that stuff. I also read the first appearance of John Stewart. I enjoyed that. I have not read much Kyle Rayner, to be honest with you, but maybe I need to check that out as well. So, all right, let me see what else you guys are talking about. Let me see. Thomas is putting in his fan request right now for who's gonna play the actress. Well done, brother. I have no clue who Gina is, but I will Google her as soon as this show is over. They better beat Nova to the screen, says Super Honorable Nephew. He says, very good, very good. So again, some cool stuff that is happening right now in the DC world. Some positive, some negative. There was actually an article that Joe sent me earlier today. I'm not all that familiar with the news source that was reporting this information out. And when I read the article, I didn't really dig the source that the news outlet was using as a reference. I struggle anytime a news outlet references a YouTuber as a source. I kind of struggle with that as a YouTuber myself. I know that we get a lot of information, and the bigger your channel, the more information you get. But I also like, I just want a little bit more than what a YouTuber said before I start to talk about stuff. But there was a news report that was given about the Batman movie that was not very favorable. So it's an interesting time with DC, and I'm struggling as to how much of that to believe that was reported about the Batman movie, because of what I reported a couple of weeks ago with one of the blogs from Go Collect. And in this blog, the blogger worked on the scene of Superman Batman and talked about how the director purposefully filmed scenes that were never used to throw people off the actual story, and how he used the media to actually put out false information on purpose so as to confuse what the truth was about the movie. And so I take some of these things with a grain of salt, recognizing that there may be some purposeful manipulation of things so as to obscure what the truth actually is, and to keep some mystery and to keep some intrigue there. I don't think it's malicious, but I think it's definitely purposeful. And so I take it with a grain of salt how much I talk about some of those things. But if you are curious about that, I'm certain that you can probably Google it and find some of that information out there if you guys want to dig into that. But again, I want to give a huge shout out to all the Comic Swoldier reporters that feed me information on a daily basis. I absolutely appreciate what you guys do. So thank you for that. All right, let me scroll back down and here, Batman versus Voldemort. Brother, Voldemort's gonna win that one. I'm gonna just tell you right now. Voldemort is just, man, besides the fly, the Voldemort is the baddest thing around. I'm gonna just say it right now. Yeah, exactly. And this dude, this report that the blogger put up on Go Collect a couple of weeks ago actually spoke about the fact that they literally filmed scenes that were never going to be used, but they filmed them to keep everybody off the trail of what the actual story was going to be. And you have to believe that one director isn't doing that alone. There have to be a lot of directors that are like, this is just what you do. This is how you throw people off the trail. This is how you use the media. This is how you use misdirection to keep people off of the scent of what is actually happening. Because I think the last thing a creator wants is to have the sizzle be stolen. Right. And as somebody that goes up on stage and gives presentation, people are always like, can you tell me what you're going to talk about? No, I can't, because if I give it to you, then why would I even go up on stage and reveal it if everybody already knows it? That's no fun. Right. So never give away your sizzle. Never give away the sizzle. Yeah, that's why I sometimes put up titles the very last minute. Because I don't want to give away the fizzle. Who is this? Matthew, welcome to the live stream. He says, hey, now I caught a live one. Welcome, Matthew. If this is your first live stream, I want to officially welcome you, Comic Swoldier, to the live stream. Hopefully you enjoy yourself, and this is not the last time that we hang out here in the live chat. Scrolling through some of the comments here again, seeing what you guys are talking about. What is this? They filmed a scene from Friday Night Lights in my town for the trainer, and it next made it into the movie. Not joking. Very cool. Very cool. Pretty fly. We are giving a report out on what you sent me earlier today, the Green Lantern movie or series that is actually going to be made. We talked about that, so I definitely want to thank you for giving me the heads up on that one. Sizzle Secrets. Well done. Brother, throwing bricks and people are catching them like full facial, just full facial brick to the face. They are catching it. And that's the thing. You cannot fall for the banana in the tailpipe or the brick to the face. Both are a setup. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you have not yet watched the videos that have been released over the course of this week, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check those out. A lot of really good content came up Monday through Thursday. And then I also dropped a live stream yesterday that I think was pretty fun. As a reminder, though, I will tell you guys during that live stream yesterday, I made mention that the Go Collect book of the week had not been claimed. That book has indeed been claimed from last week and is already out the door. But you still have a chance of winning this book right here, Batman 635. This one is all ready to go out on Sunday night. So if you have not yet watched the videos that have been released from the channel, you have a couple of more days to check out all of those videos to find the phrase to be able to win that book. And I will gladly bundle it up for you on Sunday night and send it out to you. There you go. Brother, here's the thing. I am a communications major. Where do you obtain it? There is no application, brother. You just have to bring the news. You have to bring the news, because I get a lot of information, right? So the big thing is I have people send me information literally all day, every day. Hey, have you heard this? Hey, have you heard that? And a lot of times, yeah, I've heard that, right? And then occasionally there's some things that I haven't heard and that are good enough to make it on air. So if you see things, if you hear things, let me know. Don't inundate me with 1,000 every day. But if you do hear some stuff, you just let me know. But again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys need me, don't hesitate to reach out to me. The best way to get me is on Instagram at Regie Collects, 1G, or yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. Oh, right there. Got it. You can message me on Regie Collects, or you can certainly send me an email to reggie@regiecollects.com. If you're feeling frisky, you definitely want to head over to the website. There's a lot of great content up there. I put up a blog post earlier this week from one of our bloggers. It's a pretty solid article. I think there was one earlier in the week as well. So there's a couple of new things up there. So be sure to check those things out. regiecollects.com. Take care.